From those new potential sanctions to the support for freedom and democracy, President Trump is also making it clear that his administration will not repeat the policies of his predecessor. He's been tweeting support for the protesters and criticizing the Obama administration negotiated nuclear deal that has turned out to have given the state sponsor of terrorism billions of dollars. Chris Tharo joins us, Fox News politics editor, and what this could mean. You know, Chris, back in 2009, the Green Revolution, President Obama came under a lot of criticism for not speaking out forcefully at first. He eventually did. One top official of the administration admitted it was a mistake. Do you think the president now is mindful of all that?
Well, sure, but also he has to be mindful of the mistakes that Obama and other presidents, but that his predecessor made the other way. When we look at Syria, when we look at Libya, when we look at U.S. pressure on Egypt for regime change there, when what was once optimistically called the Arab Spring was sweeping through the region, that worked out very poorly. For American presidents, do you make it better? Is your intervention effective? Does it serve the long-term policy goals of the United States? These are not easy questions, and it's not just I'm in favor of good things and against bad things. Picking and choosing these moments is tough.
But some would say you need the bully pulpit. I mean, remember, tear down this wall, the evil empire, that now is the time when the iron is hot for the president to use that to try and effect some change in Iran.
Well, does it, though, have the desired effect? And that's the real issue. You already see the mullahs that are saying this is not an organic revolution, this is not organic protest, but this is in fact the handiwork of the great Satan, that the United States, that Israel, that Western countries are fomenting this unrest in a desire to harm the Islamic State. That's what they're telling their people. When they see the United States, when they see other countries doing that, then they say to protesters, see, you're on the side of Donald Trump, you're on the side of Satan, you're not on the side of the Quran, you're not on the side of the true faith.
Yeah, at the same time, Iranians are rising up. I interviewed in May Reza Pahlavi, the former prince, son of the Shah, and he called for these same type of demonstrations. He says there's a freedom movement like Lech Walesa in Poland, like the fall of the Berlin Wall that ended in the collapse of the Soviet Union. He says the moment, like Nelson Mandela for his country, is now. Here's what the prince had to say.
We as Iranians don't ask the world to do the job for us. All we say is give us the tools, the means, and the support so we can do the job. Don't leave us alone. Don't throw us under the bus. And this is a message that needs to today be sent very clearly, from President Trump to the new French president to whoever else is out there.
I mean, they're asking for help on behalf of the Iranian people.
I doubt you'd get very many votes in Iran for restoring the Shah to power. Look, this one is very tough because we don't know what the outcome of this revolt would be. And remember, one of the potential outcomes here is that harder line clerics get to be in charge. Because as you guys were talking about, the revolution's not taking place among the educated elites in Tehran. This is an uprising that's out in the countryside from people who are frustrated with corruption, who want reform to a more pure version, perhaps, of their theocratic nation. So we don't know which way this one's going to go. And with the high stakes in Syria, the high stakes with the rebalancing that's going on in the Arabian Peninsula, this is one to watch. This could change. Could be a fulcrum point for the history of this region.
Yeah, and you've got a lot of opposition, several opposition groups. You've got people chanting Pahlavi's name. You also have the National Council of Resistance of Iran, and Maryam Rajavi, the woman who's the leader of that organization. She is being blamed by the Iranian government for fomenting some of these protests. I interviewed her in Paris a few years ago, and here's what she just said over the weekend about these demonstrations.
Regime change by the Iranian people and resistance is within reach. The new U.S. policy on Iran must be complemented with a series of practical measures.
Practical measures. We talk about new sanctions. She suggests trying to cut Iran out of the international banking system. Do you think any of that will have an effect?
Well, if in fact that's where we go, and if in fact this lasts, I think, when we heard from the prince previously, the real issue here is this sustaining within Iran? Before we get to the question of is the United States going to intervene in some way, can we bring additional pressure to bear? Is this going to be something that goes beyond the bounds of Iran's political system to maintain and control, or is this going to go away? So we have to watch and see and watch carefully, because we can help, but we could also harm. So we have to watch our P's and Q's, mind our P's and Q's.
Yeah. As I said before, it's a moment of fear, but also potential opportunity. So we'll see how it all plays out. We have been here before. Chris, always good to see you. Thank you so much.
You bet. Happy New Year.
Of course, you too.